is Good Morning Uganda.
It is a beautiful morning. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you for starting with us from when we started to this moment. And this is the time of our newsreel. Time check is 10 minutes past 7 o'clock on this 4th day of December 2023. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us. My name is Olive Monica Najuma, and today I'm joined by Richard Bijira, the Secretary General of NOTU, which is the National Organization of Trade Unions. Yes, today we are speaking issues, trade unions. We are speaking about rights of, these unions, and of course the mandate. Now, NOTU is changing leadership soon, and of course we have had so many things coming from that part of trade unions. Last year they were embroiled in so many wrangles, and of course there was a lot of back and forth regarding their leadership, but that was mostly settled, and of course the gentleman I'm with will share more on that. But our main focus to start with is of course on the upcoming elections, the new leadership that is coming up, and so much more along that line. You're welcome to Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Now I would like for us to dive right into it, and of course let's start with NOTU. And first of all, for someone out there, tell us more about what NOTU is, what it stands for, its mandate.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank you for hosting me this morning. And about NOTU, NOTU is in full is the National Organization of Trade Unions. This is a labor union, a labor center. And it derives its mandate from the Constitution and the Labor Unions Act. That is Article 29 and Article 40 of the Uganda Constitution of 1995 as amended. Secondly, the Constitution gives right for workers to organize themselves and the right of freedom of association. And therefore, being a national center, our mandate is to coordinate various labor unions, advocate for the workers of this country, also and try to lobby for our members on their rights to ensure that they are respected within the whims of the law.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So that being said, what's the composition of NOTU like?
First of all, I've indicated to you that NOTU is a national center.
Yes.
And it has affiliates. To date, NOTU has 36 affiliates. And you know we have two centers, that is NOTU and COFTU. And COFTU has the balance. So we have 36 out of the 45 registered labor unions. And therefore, the composition is that we affiliate unions in different trades. UNATU, building, construction, in different trades. And therefore, we have 34 affiliates. Now, what happens is that NOTU has different structures. Right from what I'm calling the Congress, we have what we call the Congress. The Congress now includes, this is an election which comes after 5 years. And the affiliates, through their representation, bring their delegates according to their numbers. And therefore, that is the Congress. Then we have the General Council. This General Council includes every chairman and every general secretary of an affiliate union. And therefore, we have 36. That means the 36 gentlemen or ladies, the chairperson and general secretaries of different affiliates form what we call the General Council. And that General Council sits every 6 months to review the progress of the National Center and the plans a way ahead. Then we have what we call, what we have annual delegates conference. Every year we have annual delegates conference, and the composition is the same as the Congress. And therefore, After that, we have what we call the executive board, and this is what is going to be elected today.
Okay.
The executive board. The executive board, the composition is we have a chairman, general, then we have 3 deputies, then we have a woman responsible for general duties, then we have general secretary, who is the deputy general secretary in charge of operations. We have deputy general secretary in charge of administration. Then we have a woman general duties.
I've caught, I've caught on that a woman, general duties, a woman in charge of this.
Yes.
Does that mean that other positions are basically distributed?
No, women have a right for all the positions, but we also wanted to have specific duties for women as well. But they can contest for every position, even Secretary General, Chairman General.
Okay.
So that is what we say, that general duties.
All right.
Then we have Treasurer General and the deputy. Then we have members of the board, just members of the board executive, about 6 of them. Then we have informal economy representative. We have workers with disability representative, and the law provides you can either elect the trustees or you can appoint. So it is the way the Congress will decide. Either it will elect the trustees or it will appoint. So the composition of NOTU, basically that is the structure. And today, tomorrow, we are going for that election.
That election.
Yes.
Okay. Now, before we continue on the election itself, for someone out there, they are hearing all these positions and all these people, these elections, but probably, yes, it is National Organization of Trade Unions, but for someone out there who is curious to know what exactly this NOTU does, what do you do? I understand it has a lot to do with labor unions, but someone out there would like to know in detail what NOTU does exactly, or how it benefits workers.
First of all, as earlier pointed, that NOTU has 36 affiliates.
Yes.
We operate through our affiliates. That's one. 2, our mandate is to make sure that we coordinate all our affiliates. Number 2 is we lobby and influence policy and regulations and the laws of the country. For instance, you saw us, we are very active when amendments of NSS were taking place. We were very active in the current Employment Act amendments. We have been active in markets and all those laws which concerned workers. Generally, all the laws concerned workers. So our role is to ensure that we lobby and influence the laws in favor of the workers, so that they are able to enjoy their rights and they are protected. So that is the role of NOTU, to advocate and advance and protect the workers' rights.
Okay. Yes. I understand that. And maybe for me to simplify it even more, he said they have 36 affiliates, and among these you mentioned UNATU.
Yes.
And UNATU is for teachers, arts teachers.
Yes.
So when they are calling upon increment of their salaries, they are working with NOTU to ensure that that is, achieved, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now moving on, I would like to know more about how transparent these elections are going to be, because in the past there have been many wrangles regarding leadership of NOTU. So this time round, you seem to be more organized, but still someone out there would like to know, how transparent are the elections going to be?
Thank you. First of all, NOTU has structures. And whatever we do goes through structures. First of all, we have what we call the Secretariat, which is headed by the Secretary General and the staff and his deputies and the Treasurer General. Before anything goes to another stage, this Secretariat sits and goes through and discusses. After that, the Secretariat will push their items on the agenda to the Executive Board. for discussion and consideration. After that, these issues are pushed to the General Council. And after General Council, that is when now we have reached the Congress. What am I trying to say? I'm saying that whatever we have prepared has gone through a process where it has included everybody and brought all the structures on board. So we do not anticipate any disagreement because we have gone through all the structures, approvals, through all those structures, right from Secretariat and where we are going to the Congress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And who are these candidates? Which candidates do you have? Can we know their names? And of course, how do people qualify to stand for these elections?
Well, as I have pointed out to you, we go through all these structures. These candidates, the General Council formulates terms and conditions of, terms of reference. And among them is that we have an electoral commission which has been appointed by the General Council to conduct the elections.
Yes.
And this is a five-man committee, five-person committee, not five-man, five people committee.
Yes.
And it is going to conduct the elections in a transparent manner. And they have been approved by the General Council to do that role. So what happened is that the nominations are opened and the people pick nomination forms at the National Center, but you should belong to a union.
Yes.
And you should be a member of that union. After picking nomination forms, you fill them and you are seconded by your union, you are nominated by your union. After being nominated by the union, another affiliate seconds you. And from there now, your form is submitted to the Electoral Commission. And the Electoral Commission has been working for the last 2 weeks, receiving the nominations, going through all the processes, whether somebody qualifies and receiving all this. And I think it is ready with that. So you must be a member and
of a union.
Of a union,
Yes.
of one of our affiliates, and you must be a paid-up member.
No independent candidates.
No independent candidates. For us, you must come from a union.
Yes.
And that's how we operate. And therefore, candidates are there, already nominated. The list has been displayed of nominated candidates. And now, what is remaining is tomorrow that we shall have the Congress, and the election is one of the item agenda. Yes, please.
Okay. So tomorrow the election is taking place. What else is happening tomorrow before the election?
Well, we have many issues. Before tomorrow's election, today we have pre-congresses.
Yes.
We have pre-congress for the youth. We have pre-congress of women. We have pro-congress of people with disability and the informal economy.
When you say pre-congress, what do you mean?
The congress which takes place before the main congress.
Okay.
Yes, so these ones elect their representative who will join the executive board.
Oh.
So they will elect a committee which will now be part of the executive board. And so before that, then they will join the main Congress, and now they will be adopted on the executive board. So that is how transparent we are, and that is how inclusive we are. So today, it is happening at Hotel Africana. We are having women, youth, and all the rest at Hotel Africana, beginning at 8.
Okay.
Yes.
And then tomorrow is
tomorrow we shall have the main Congress, where candidates will be lined up as per their application and the nominations, and accordingly election will take place. Yes, please.
Now, how is NOTU going forward? How is it moving in terms of bringing back confidence regarding leadership? I understand you are now more organized, but we have seen court cases we have seen to being on the spot, especially its leaders. So how do you ensure confidence for the people out there that are in these trade unions, for the people in the affiliates? How do you ensure that confidence is brought back to them and that they have nothing to worry about going forward?
Thank you. First of all, I want to take this opportunity to apologize to all working people in this country that it was unfortunate that as a labor center we have gone through that. But any society without a disagreement, you know there is a problem.
That's true.
But I believe all these issues we have gone through, we have learnt.
Yes.
We have learnt our lessons, and we have learnt how to address our issues without going through public. The issue of court cases, yes, we have been having court battles with some of our colleagues, but what I must assure the country and the workers that all these have been resolved, and we are now out of court. We have resolved, and that's why we are even going for the Congress. And there is no worry that there will be an issue of court injunctions, court orders, whatever. We have resolved all those. There is nothing pending in court. And I want to assure the working people and the people of this country that Noto is peaceful, and we expect peaceful elections. And we are expecting a lot of dignitaries across the country, and they will be coming in to join us. We are expecting people from ITUC Brussels, International Trade Union Congress of Brussels. We are expecting people from ITUC Africa. We are expecting partners. The regional director of ILO is coming from Dar es Salaam. The ILO actress in Addis Ababa is coming, and many of our colleagues, the Central Organization of Trade Union of Kenya, KOTO, will attend. All those have confirmed the attendance. The FACE, Frederick Albert Foundation, has confirmed. Many of our partners, the Danish Trade Union Development Agency, the FNV of Netherlands, all will be present. All our partners will be present, including the Federation of Ugandan Employers. And we expect the Ministry of Labor, and the Minister has confirmed the attendance. She will come to open the conference, and we believe that she will make it, because she has confirmed.
Okay, now maybe a little more about the elections. The people that are voted into various offices, how long is their term?
The term is 5 years.
5 years.
And that's why sometimes we use, if it is the national center, we call it Congress. But if it is an affiliate, we call it Quino Delegates Conference. Queen means 5. So that after every 5 years, this election takes place to renew the mandate of the people or bring on board the new people. So it is a must, it is in the law, and it is in our constitution.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. I think that actually it puts many things into perspective, because where you don't have elections as often as 5 years, a lot can go unnoticed.
Yes, the last election we had was in 2018 on 14th December. So this 14th December, exactly on dot, it will be expiring. But however, we sometimes hold it earlier to allow a process of registration. And because the process is that after you have finished an election, you make returns to the registrar of labor unions in the Ministry of Gender. And after making returns, the ministry goes through whether all the process was duly followed in regard to holding the Congress. And once he's satisfied, he registers you into a statutory register into the Ministry of Gender. Okay. So before that process, after election, you are not duly elected. Until the Registrar of Labor endorses and says you are now duly registered, then you become a duly elected leader into the labor unions. And that's what happens even with our affiliates. Okay. So the process is still on. After elections, we shall make returns.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. And what would be your last message or parting shot to our viewers?
I would like to assure the working people that NOTU is for the workers, and I would like to invite them to embrace labor unions wherever they are. We have 36 labor unions in the country, and I would like each sector to find, each organization to find where you fit so that you are a member of a union. We have many things in common to achieve, not only looking at salary increment, but we have many things we can do as workers, and which we are already
like
doing.
Minimum wage.
So we have done a lot for the workers of this country,
Yes,
to influence policy, and we want you to join us, those who are not members, to be part of this great labor movement in the country. And I want to build the confidence in you that gone is bygone. We shall move bigger steps from tomorrow onwards.
Okay. Maybe briefly, who votes? Is it the people in certain different affiliates, or even I, if I'm registered, I can come and vote?
What happens is that the Secretary General, after getting endorsement from different organs, especially from General Council, writes to different General Secretaries of affiliate unions and informs them to forward names or delegations who will come to vote. This is done in according to the Constitution. We have numbers. For instance, I can quote, if you have numbers from 1 to 500, you bring maybe 2 or 5.
Oh.
If you have 500 to 1,000, you bring a certain number. Now, the biggest unions with bigger numbers, who pay big affiliations, obviously have bigger delegations to the conference. And that is the procedure we use when we are asking for the delegates. According to the records we have, you have 5,000 members. By the Constitution, you are entitled to this number. So that is the number which comes. But you must be a member of that union,
yes,
and subscribing. So the General Secretary will pick either among from his leadership or from members. There is no criteria. From either member or leadership who subscribe from his union and sends a delegation.
Okay.
And that's how we do it.
Well, we have been having this conversation with Mr. Richard Bijira, the Secretary General of the National Organization of Trade Unions. If you're not part of a trade union, you should be thinking about registering yourself with one, because some issues you may have will be better handled if you belong to a union. And actually, I've been a big advocate of this, of saying many workers should belong to labor unions, because this is the only way our grievances can be addressed and in time. Thank you so much, Mr. Bijira.
Thank you.
Well, you're still watching Good Morning Uganda. Up next is the Good Morning Uganda Tourism Express. Later on, Jerome Paul Sonko will be coming back to us with the Good Morning Uganda business updates. And of course, I'll be coming back with the traffic updates. Stay tuned.
Over 1,000 children with disabilities in Uganda every 5 years have not had access to adequate education, and this has been basically due to lack of assistive devices to enable them get reasonable accommodation in schools.